Hello everybody, and thank you so much for clicking this link. As you see in the title, tonight I get to interview John Swasey, who is a voice actor, and I'm just really excited to interview a voice actor. I have a lot of questions. I've always wondered certain things about voice acting. I've obviously got into radio. I've always wanted to be in radio, and I always thought it'd be cool to get paid to talk. And I've never been one to have like a million voices. I mean, I tend to have like the southern one will come out, dang, I'll tell you what, once in a while. But other than that, I'm not one that can like switch up a bunch of different accents or cool voices. I wish I was. I mean, I don't know. I think that'd be neat. I know as a kid, I think everybody tried to be Darth Vader about 4 million times. And to me, his voice is so iconic. It's a tie for me. I really like his, but I also really like Bane's voice. I think it'd be really neat for any of them. And all the voice acting in Bob's Burgers and, gosh, Star Wars and so many different things with voice acting. I think it's really cool. So I can't wait to ask him some questions. So I'm going to play a little clip of John. And he's been in a bunch of stuff, by the way. He's very, very, very well known in the anime circuit. But just voice acting alone, he's in a whole bunch. And if you're a fan of the movie Dazed and Confused, you'll remember him as the actual beer delivery guy that tries to deliver the beer to the house, but the dude's parents were still home. And he came a little early with the beer. So if you remember that scene, I'm going to play it, at least the audio part of it right now, and a couple other things that John is really well known for. And we'll be right back with John Swasey on the Catchin of a Cutter and Fam Show. Be sure to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, share, subscribe, all those fun, and comment below. Tell me who your favorite voice actors are. Please tell me who. Robin Williams better be on one of those person's lists. Okay, talk to you in a minute.
This is John Swasey, better known as Crocodile, and I'm gonna tell you for the last time, Loopy, if I ever find you again, I'm gonna rip you apart!
It's because Tomura Shigaraki has finally found his conviction. The League of Villains needs people who will get behind his principles. I'll leave all of the decisions to him for now. If he asks for help, then of course I'll step in and guide him. That's not a problem as I see it. In fact, I've been waiting for the day when he seeks my aid. I'm preparing for him to become the next me, my successor.
Early? Yeah, about an hour and a half, man. See, I want to get here by early, see if anyone was here, man. I got this little action happening tonight, man, if you know what I mean.
So I guess you got the wrong house.
Yeah, inconvenience for you. I'm sorry. Brought Mr. Pickford all together.
Hey, these things happen. Don't worry about it. Ben?
Yeah. Were you going to have a party here?
Hey, you. Yeah, you over there. Do you have an idea, a podcast idea, something that would go great on this show that somebody should know about, that you or somebody that you know could tell us about? Send us an email at catchinupwithcarter@gmail.com. That's Catchin with no G in the middle. catchinupwithcarter@gmail.com. We want to know your ideas and we want to talk about them. Toodaloo.
Hey, it's Jackson from Life with Jack. After this video, take a moment to scroll down to my videos, and don't you worry if you like them. More are coming soon. And subscribe, like, and ring the bell of notifications so you don't miss out on another good video.
All right, welcome back to the Catchin with Carter and Fan Podcast. I'm on the phone with John Swasey. Welcome. Thank you so much. How are you and how is Texas? What's going on with you today?
Well, that's a lot of questions. I'm doing fine, thank you. Number one, Texas is great. The weather's nice, a little overcast, but kind of cool. And I'm getting ready to put some food away and shut down the house for the evening. So, but life is good, man. All is right in the world.
So,
In my world.
great, right? And I love it. I want to know how you got to this point. I've always been told I have a nice voice, and I know a lot of my friends that do voices. I got a real good friend named Bob that does it just for fun. And how did you get into it? Because you've been doing it for 25 years now, right, John?
If you're talking about anime, it's about 27 years. But if you're talking about just in general, commercials and acting and stuff, it's more like 35 years.
How'd you get into acting, and what were you doing before acting, and what was your first thing that you got into?
So for me, I got into acting because I saw a Broadway play with my parents in New York one year, and it was called Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat.
Yeah.
And I was in New York. I saw the show. We saw it on Broadway. I mean, it was magical. It was literally life transforming. And I decided right then and there I wanted to be an actor. And we were on a big family vacation. I bugged my parents the whole rest of the trip, just telling them, man, I'm going to be an actor. I'm going to be an actor. And they're like, yeah, whatever, man. Good for you. That's great. You got to be a lawyer, though. And anyway, so I came home. I was about 15 years old and got involved in my school theater program and went off to college and majored in theater, and just came back home and took lots of classes, started auditioning for stuff, got involved in comedy, doing improvisational comedy and stuff at the Comedy Workshop in Houston, and started doing film, and just kind of got an agent, and just kind of snowballed. And then I think in 1997 somebody said, hey, you ought to get into anime. And I was like, well, what's anime? And they're like, well, it's Japanese animation. I'm like, well, that's a bummer. I don't speak Japanese. And they said, no. We dub it into English. And I said, oh, well, guess I could do that. So I did. And there happened to be a company here in Houston at the time called ADV Films. And I started working for them, and then started directing, then started working for a company up in Dallas called Funimation. And, a lot of changes have happened throughout the years, but we just kept going at it. And Funimation merged with Crunchyroll and then got bought out by Sony or something like that. And ADV became Sentai Filmworks, and they got bought out by AMC Networks. So, and then, it's amazing just how much it's all grown and changed, and it's pretty much all I do now is anime, and it's just it's a long way from Broadway, I can tell you that.
I have a couple questions. I'm gonna go to the theater side first. What was since that's what really got you inspired? I saw the same thing when I was in the 8th grade. I went to a Christian school, and I went and saw that. I can't remember if it was in Chicago. I'm trying to think, but I saw it too. Joseph, that's a really good show. I also saw Lion King live too in LA, and I thought that was really good. And I've seen a lot of plays, and I like plays also. My grandparents used to take me to them. But what was your favorite thing what play were you a part of, or role that did you play in the play side before going into the movies? What was your favorite one you did, like, on the way up?
My favorite play that I performed in? I don't know if I have a favorite play. I got to do some good ones. I did Streetcar Named Desire, and did a bunch of Shakespeare. That was fun. And murder, mysteries, Hercule Poirot type stuff, and Gumshoe Detective. My favorite type of being on stage stuff, though, was working at the Comedy Workshop and doing improvisation and sketch comedy. That's what I really, really, really enjoyed. So that would have to be my favorite. I don't have a favorite show I did, but it was always a lot of fun, and we always had a good time. And it's just, there's something about improvisation that I really love, and I think it's the part of being, you don't know what's going to happen. You're out there on a limb, and the limb could break. Whatever you're doing could be funny, it could not be funny, and it's just the chance you're taking. And I've always liked that. So anything I ever do improv, I'm always on the ball.
I always wondered like how certain things happen, and that maybe I'm kind of dumb when it comes to the acting side because I've never really done it. But I was wondering, when you do a project like anime and you do voiceover work, is it where you have to go in person at first and you meet everybody and you're all doing your roles together, or do you send like parts of it where they say, okay, these are your lines, you record them at home and you send them in? How does that work?
Well, anime, yeah, is definitely like that. If we're doing a play, I mean, obviously you're rehearsing and you're working together. If you're doing a movie, you're with a set, a cast, and a crew, and you're working together. And sometimes you're only on it for a portion. Sometimes and you're not there for the whole shoot. But with anime, it's we're dubbing it, so we're in the studio every day, or when we come in. I'm in the studio every day because I'm directing, but if you're an actor, you're not there every day. You don't work with other actors. You work solo by yourself. You work with a director and an engineer, and it's you try to keep it as lively and as fun and organic as possible. But it's, in a lot of ways, it's a very sterile type environment because you're not getting to work with an audience. You're not getting to work with other cast members. You're not getting to work with props. You're not getting to work with anything except your voice. So it's a little different, but it's a lot of fun. I find it, as an actor, I find it very rewarding.
That's such a cool story. I just always wondered how it worked, because I wondered if it was all, something like that where they just sent it to you and you had to record it and send it in. I was like, man, I'd rather be on set with all these cool people. You know what I mean? I just didn't know how it really was.
Oh, I was just going to say, sometimes, with the pandemic and everything, and post-pandemic, people did get into, recording at home and not wanting to be around others and stuff like that. And you can do it. The technology's there, but, I'm just a big believer. If you can work with other people, creatives, it's going to make for a better product and not just being off siloed away.
Favorite role as far as anime goes as an actor? I know you've been in a lot of really big roles, but what is one that you've really enjoyed the most?
I think I'd have to say, I get asked that a lot, and I love all of them. Because they all bring something a little different to the table. But I would have to say one of my favorite roles is the Boy and the Beast from Kumatetsu from the movie The Boy and the Beast. And I played the Kumatetsu's the Beast, and it's just a lovely, lovely movie. It's very touching. It's funny. It's got some action. It's kind of got it all. It's like, if you can imagine, it's like the Jungle Book meets Karate Kid, and it's really good.
Yeah, I'll have to check that out.
Yeah.
What now? When you first decide, when a person told you like you're gonna go into voice acting, or that's something you should check out, what was it like when you came home? You told your wife or your kids, or I don't even know where your kids were age wise, but did you start doing voices around the house then and kind of practice, or what was it like?
No. I've just always had a lot of voices inside of me, I guess, and I just, it's something I've always enjoyed doing commercials, and especially, when you're doing commercials and stuff, it's always a lot of fun to be able to do characters. Well, when you start doing characters, you get to play around with your voice, and then, once this anime thing came in, I didn't even know what anime was. I was just like, dude, I don't know why everyone has blue spiky hair. That's kind of freaky. But, I didn't, of course, it's grown into the mega industry it is today, but it's, back in the 90s, mid to late 90s, man, it was a very niche crowd, but I just looked at it as, hey, here's a chance to do a lot of fun, different voices and different characters. And I kind of got for better or for worse, I got a reputation around the studio as being somebody who could do a lot of different voices. So I never got tapped as the lead because I don't have that young, teenage sounding voice, but I would do a lot of the other characters around in the shows and stuff because I had a lot more of a chameleon style voice, I guess. And so I could do all kinds of things. So, and I really, I kind of realized, I really got an affinity to this and I really enjoy it and I seem to be good at it. So let's go ahead and let's put our eggs in that basket. So I did. And then it's, fortunately it paid off.
That's a pretty badass story to be able to be a villain. I was saying before I talked to you, two iconic to me, my two favorite voices would be maybe Darth Vader and of course Bane. When it comes to those type of voices, like what are who do you think are the most iconic voices, maybe in anime and then all together, who are some people you're like, man, they got a really good voice?
Well, first of all, you mentioned Darth Vader and Bane. I mean, Bane's such an unusual voice, but James Earl Jones, the voice of Darth Vader, is. I mean, if you could put a voice in the Smithsonian, it would be his voice. I mean, and what makes it so wonderful is not that it's just deep, not that it's commanding. It's just James Earl Jones was very, very articulate, and there was never a slur, you understood every word that came out of his mouth. It was very deliberate and very. Every word had weight to it, and I think. But nowadays, I think when people say I want to get into voiceover, and I can do a great this voice, or I can do a great that voice. And then, of course, they immediately launch into it, assuming I want to hear it. But what they don't understand is that everybody has a different voice, and it's your voice that makes you unique among everybody else in the entire world. You may have voices that are similar, but only you have a voice that is uniquely yours, and those are the best voices, when the people can use their voice and just be articulate and be believable, be authentic, be real. And it's hard to do. It sounds so easy. Oh, just be me. I mean, yeah, it is. But man, when anybody gets on a stage or gets in front of a film or on a microphone or whatever, they put on something, like they put on this, all right, I'm gonna be a surfer dude now, or I'm gonna be a badass, or I'm gonna be, whatever. And it's like, you need to just be you, and let the character do the work, and not try to sit there and just alter your voice a lot. I mean, that being said, I don't want to put down people like, I can't think of his name, Mel Blanc, who did Bugs Bunny and Elmer Fudd and all that. I mean, he certainly was changing his voice, and the same for, Harry Shearer and everybody at Dan Castellaneta and Seth MacFarlane, for crying out loud. I mean, these guys can do amazing voices, but they, at the end of the day, they still sound authentic. They're still acting with it. They're not just doing a voice. They're acting and using a voice. And I think there's a distinction to be made there. So if you're just doing a voice, it doesn't do anything. But if you're acting, so when people tell me, and I know I'm kind of veering off the question here, but when people say, like, I want to get into voiceover, what do I need to do? And I'm like, you need to learn how to act. It's the most important thing you can do. And when I say learn how to act, I don't mean, I mean take a 6-week acting class, and then take it again, and then take it again, and take it again, and then do another acting class, and another. Actors that are really worth their salt have been studying for years and are still studying, myself included. I mean, it's something you always need to be working on it if you're going to be any good at it. If you're going to just rest on your laurels, it's going to get stale and all that. But anyway, to answer your question, like it's hard for me to answer it because there's so many amazing voices out there that can do amazing things, but they're different. It's like saying I love what Chris Sabat can do, or I love what Monica Rial can do, but I can't do that, but I love, there's also things I can do that they can't do. So, it's not a matter of, oh, you've got the best voice in the world for anime or for anything else. I will tell you this, that for a long time, early on, there was like this kind of, almost like a blanket statement. Like if you had somebody that had a really high pitched voice, it'd be like, oh man, you got a perfect voice for anime. And it's like, no, that's not really, unless you're doing something where they're cutesy little girls that are 9, 8 years old, that's not what it's about. But anyway, so I don't know where I went with that, but there's your answer. I'll let you fix it in post.
There's a theater that literally is like, I don't know, 100 feet from my house. And I know somebody that runs that, and he tells me they're always taking volunteers. And I know a couple other theaters in Rockford, Illinois, that also take volunteers all the time. And I think there's a lot of ways that people can, you say to take those classes, but man, there's a lot of other free stuff you can also get involved in that gets you your feet wet too, I guess, right? I guess while you're doing a couple things at once.
Absolutely. Take classes, but go be a part of those little community theaters, and go be a part of, immerse yourself in the world of theater. I mean, you're not, this isn't medical school where you're going to go to take 6 weeks of class and of theater classes, and you've got it. Here's your diploma. I mean, it's an art. It's an art. It's a craft, and you need to work on it constantly. But also getting involved in a theater group, getting involved in a local theater. I mean, learning to build sets, learning to run lights, learning to stage manage, learning to direct, learning all these things. These are all things that will help you develop as an actor, artist, and which in turn will help you become a better.
So what exactly do you have going on from now? I mean, it's January, going on February already. What's 2023 have in store for you so far in your schedule?
Well, last year I did about 44 conventions. This year I'm not going to do that many. So, but I am going to do a fair amount. I'm thinking probably 35 or so. But I'm loving life. Just living here and doing my thing. I'm directing, and I've got a couple of side projects we're working on, me and some buddies, some film scripts, and we got a podcast we're going to launch called Bottom of the Barrel, and it's going to be just kind of a wackadoo talk about various subjects, and consume a fine bottle of barrel whiskey at the same time. So that's so we'll see where it descends into, but anyway, it'll be for fun, and we're gearing up for that here, hopefully in the next month or so. And for me, I'm doing some things. I'm trying to learn Spanish. I want to learn a foreign language, get better on the guitar, and lose 80 pounds.
How successful have you been in past resolutions?
Last year, I put it this way, I only needed to lose 50 pounds. So not too good. But, I think I'm making slow but steady strides. That's the thing. And that's the thing I need to keep telling myself. And, everyone, we live in a world, especially now, where everyone wants it right now. And, you go on the internet and you just see things like, I give you a perfect example, pills for weight loss, as seen on Shark Tank, as seen by Oprah Winfrey, her gummy, all these things. You're just like, how can it must work. Otherwise they wouldn't put their name on it. Well, first of all, I don't even know if they put their name on it. Somebody could be using it and then they go take that down. You're like, all right, they put it back up. It's everything. You'll notice you'll lose 5 pounds within the first week. Your pants won't fit I'm like, this is ridiculous. It takes a slow, steady, continuous, and consistent effort to do the things that I want to get done. And in a year, they can be done, but I have to do a little bit every day. And that's the same kind of thing if you want to be a voice actor. You have to do a little bit every day to nudge yourself further down the road. It's not about, I'm going to take a 6-week class and express myself through the line. It's like, no, it takes time. You have to give it its just due and do it the proper way, So anyway, those are the things I've got. I want to learn Spanish, lose 80 pounds, be better on the guitar, and read more.
What's a song that you really want to play on the guitar? I really like Nothing Else Matters. I just really would like to learn to play that. I don't know why, it just sounds so nice to me.
If I had to pick a song right now, I would say the song I really want to learn to play all the way through is Lady with a Fan, which is by the Grateful Dead, and it's part of the Terrapin Station. So it would be to learn the Terrapin Station. So I know what part it entails. I mean, it's you know, but it's very ambitious for just the guitar. But I'm a big Deadhead, so I love that, and I love that song, and I just always thought it'd be cool to know how to play, and I've got part of it. I just, you know, need to pick up the guitar every day and not just look at it on my wall.
Right, I understand that. I want to get the kids into drums. They really want to play drums, so I think I want to pick it up too. That's cool. I like that there's never like an age where you have to stop trying something. You should always try to try something new, and there's so dope stuff on there. There's so many cool things out in the world. I definitely understand that.
Exactly, and you know what? I will tell you this, Jeff. I mean, I'm, you know, a lot older than you, but you know, you reach a certain point in life, no matter who you are, I guarantee you, you will reach this point and you go, shit, man, this is it. This is the only life I got. I better start. If I'm going to do something, I better start. You know, when you're young, you know, you think you got all the time in the world, and, you know, the truth of the matter is you don't. So, I mean, you should do the things that are pleasing to you, assuming you're not hurting anyone or hurting yourself or, you know, doing something illegal. I mean, you know, like really illegal. A little illegal is okay, but you know, it's like, do it. Why wouldn't you do something? You know, this is it. I mean, and when people go, why are you wasting your time doing that? It's like, you know what? If it brings you joy, it's not wasting your time. I mean, that's just fact.
Yeah.
And you enjoy doing and makes you happy. How could that be wasting time?
He's so right.
Everything you're doing is wasting time. That's what brings you joy. Well, then fine.
But let's say the next few shows, what's the next Comic-Con or next convention you're going to be at where people can meet you?
Okay, well, in 2 weeks, I'll be in Greenville, South Carolina. And then I'll be back in Houston the week after that with Eric Vale. He and I are doing a store signing at Bedrock City Comic Con. And then that takes us into February. I'll be in California and then Utah, I think. I'm not exactly sure. If you just Google me, I think you can find where I'm going to be, my schedule.
There's things that people don't know about that you can actually pay to have you come and meet and greet or sign autographs.
Well, I mean, it's not quite that easy. I mean, if you know, you can't call my agent and go, I want to book John Swasey for my bar mitzvah.
Damn it! No, I was kidding.
I mean, well, you can. It's going to cost you about $6,000, so plus first class airfare and hotel. So if you want to do that, I'm all yours. But no, I mean, you know, usually that kind of stuff is we may get booked for like a store signing or a private signing or something like that. But it's not generally, you know, we're not showing up doing party tricks.
All right, there you have it.
Again, unless somebody wanted to pay the money, you know, but I mean, that's a lot of money.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I don't know. You only have one bar mitzvah. I mean, I don't know. No, okay. I'm going to get off here in a second. Could you just choose one of your voices and then we're going to wrap this up. I don't care. Say something, whatever you want.
Happy to. All right, I'll do all for one. What do you want me to say, Jeff?
Ooh.
Don't waste my time, Jeff.
How does one find you? What is your website and how do they find you on your social media?
Find me at johnswasey.actor. That's JOHNSWASEY.actor. And then, let's see, Crocodile is, that's where you can find me. Make sure you lose me first.
Man, there you go. I really appreciate it. I've always wanted to talk to a voice actor. I always wanted to talk to Robin Williams, rest in peace. And I just saw Aladdin again the other day. I was like, God, I just love voice acting. It's so cool. So many different voices. But Thank you so much, John. I really appreciate it, and I really hope one of these days I will catch you at one of these Comic-Cons I go to. I know I'm planning to go to more. And
I hope so. I may be in Chicago this year, so...
Yeah, I want to go. I'm trying to go to the one in Milwaukee. I think it's February 11th. I don't know if you're going to that one.
No, I'm not going to that one.
Yeah, that's right. You said that.
All right, man. Well, listen, thank you very much for the Vine, and have a great day and good night, and look forward to hearing the post.
Yeah, you too. Yeah, please take care. All right, everybody. What a great interview with John Swasey. So many different acting roles, voice acting roles. He directs, he does it all. Been doing it for near 40 years, 27 years in anime. Just a great voice actor, very well known across the industry in voice acting, and I'm so happy I got a little time with him. Be sure to follow him. His website is down below in the box. Comment. Say some things you would have asked. There's some more things that I'm already thinking of I would have asked. So for next time, maybe. Help us out. Go to our Facebook. Go to our Instagram. Like, follow, subscribe on here as well. And send us an email if you have a topic. If you want to talk with me, I would love to talk with you over the phone. Let's do it. Email me at catchingupwithcarter@gmail.com. That's catching with no G in the middle. catchingupwithcarter@gmail.com. And if you have an Airbnb, we want to see it. We'll do a review for you. We've got 9 posted, and we got 1 about to be posted. So we love doing that as well. Go ahead. All right, that wraps up number 20. Please take care. Thank you for your time, and stay safe.
Thank you for spending an hour of your time with us. Now will you do yourself a favor? Check us out on Catching Up with Carter and Fam Show. Do yourself another favor and follow us on Facebook, YouTube, and Insta. Our dog's also up there, so you'll be doing yourself a third favor. And we'll see you next week. Toodles!